I gotta sit down for this one. I've got great news, RC drivers. The Jeep spell has been lifted from the SCX10 III platform. Axial now offers it with this killer early Ford Bronco body. Check this out, Ford fans. We now have an early custom Bronco body on the SCX10 III ready to run platform, and in true Axial fashion, they did it up right. This thing looks killer. I can't wait to drive it. Love the boxy styling of these early Broncos. Now, for those of you that are new, this is a ready to run. That means it comes with the radio system, the electronics installed. It's all built. All you have to do is supply a battery and charger for it. It is offered in this white version that we have here. And as you can see on the box art back there, there is a turquoise version as well. That one looks pretty cool. I'm happy with the white one that we have here. Of course, we're gonna go over this in detail. Actually, a lot of the detail is in the body. We've already reviewed the chassis before. I'll put some links down in the video description for that, so you could check out some additional details on the chassis. But let's start off with this body. And again, the detail on this is incredible. Starting off up at the front here with the molded grille, the clear lenses on the headlights, even LED lights installed from the factory behind the headlights and the marker lights. And then actually behind the grille, there is a support, which actually looks like a radiator with a molded in radiator fan. So they went the extra mile. I mean, you don't even see that on the outside, but when you do pull the body off, it's there, and it's just cool knowing that it's there. All right, up on top of the hood, we've got this decal on top and then a hood scoop. That looks pretty aggressive. Love the look of that. Moving back here, the windshield is separate from the body. It's screwed on. You can see the screw points there. And then it does have wiper blades up top. Love the Axial logo, just that little extra detail. Let me move back down to the fenders here. The fender flares are molded separate pieces screwed in from the backside. Love the additional decals, all the decal work throughout here. Just simple and, very true to the time period, but of course with a little bit of Axial spin on it. All right, now let's get back to the cage. Check out the cage on this. Really nice work. What I'm noticing here though, is there's some little extra holes up top, and I think that's so maybe you go mount some accessories later on. Maybe they're gonna have a roof rack for it. Maybe they're gonna have a light bar for it, but whatever. It's really cool that that is there in case you wanna add something to it. Now, the big cool factor here is the doors. Check out these tubular doors. You pull out a body clip and they open right up. It's all about the scale details. And of course, Axial always nails it with their scale details. Speaking of more scale details, check out the dashboard on this. We have a molded steering wheel, molded pedals, molded shifter, even some decals on the dashboard. Kind of wish the dashboard was fully molded. You could kind of see that it's shiny black from being painted. Just kind of wish they maybe had a molded plate there, so there's a little bit more detail throughout. However, it does look pretty good. The seats themselves, those are molded pieces. Not part of the Lexan, so these are separate plastic molded seats in there like that. And if you haven't picked up on it already, this is actually a two-piece body. So the white that you're seeing is one piece, and then the interior is a second piece. And these bed top rails help secure that inner part of the body, also secured up in the front as well. But really cool that it is two-piece, and it looks pretty much seamless. You could hardly tell that it's two-piece without looking at it really, really close. But if you spin it back around here, let's see the back side of this thing. Got the spare tire mounted at back. That's really cool. Like that it comes with a true spare. And then even the taillights. The taillights are a plastic, clear plastic, and they have LED lights behind it. Really cool that they put a separate lens piece on there versus just throwing a decal like they've done in the past. Love the look of this rig, and I'm not a Ford guy, I'm actually a Jeep guy, but I appreciate all types of vehicles out there, and I really like what they've done with this body on this truck. So let me show you a couple other outside features here. So the front bumper, new front bumper from Axial. Got a license plate mounted to the front, Bucking Bronco license plate there. Got some mounts for some D-hooks. We got some nice rock rails here with tall side plates, which really help capture the body. And then in the back, pretty much a similar style bumper to the front. Got a tag on the back. Got some mounts for some D-hooks, and that is really about it for the outside features. Other than the tires, let's talk about the tires and the wheels. We've got these retro wheels on here. These are a B-lock wheel. If you flip them over, look at the backside, there's screws that go through the backside, 3-piece, but nice satin silver finish to them, and then they're wrapped in these Falken Wild Peak tires. And I have these on my real truck, so I am a huge Falken fan at this point because they ride really well. But I like these tires, nice aggressive look to them, and should just provide good general traction out there on the trail. All right, time to pull the body off. Let me just show you under it really quick. It's secured underneath with body clips, so no body clips on the top. There's your wiring on the inside, there's your body clip mounts, and everything is really well done. Even the wires are taped so they don't flop around on the inside. You will have to plug in the connectors into the speed controller so it will power the LED lights. All right, now we can take a look at this SCX10 III ready to run chassis. I'll start off here in the front. We've already talked about the front bumper, and right behind the front bumper is the bumper mount. And if you look at the mount really closely, you'll see these extra holes here on both sides, which means you could go and bolt a servo in place. A servo winch actually goes right in here, and you can see the through hole through the front bumper for the lead. And then if you actually remove the front license plate, you'll see a fair lead mount behind there. So this is already set up so you could easily drop a winch into it, which I found very cool. All right, moving around here to the inner fender well liners. These are different from the Jeep. These are a bit more square, and I had to look really closely to make sure that they are different. Yes, the front is actually angled a little bit on the Jeep, but these are new. So if you're going to go and grab one of these bodies for your SCX10 III Jeep, just be aware that you're going to need these inner fender well liners as well. Now in the center of that is this new engine cover. Love the look of this. 5.0 V8 engine. I could see a lot of people going and painting and detailing this, looking really cool, but just 2 screws hold it on top, and it covers up the motor and servo underneath. You can see your pulleys and belts up front. Plenty of detail work for those of you that like working on your scale details on your rigs. All right, now the chassis itself pretty much remains unchanged. We've got our adjustable steel frame on here, composite cross braces throughout, composite plastic shock towers, even body mounts. They do give you some body mounts in the kit that I'm going to show you if you do want to go and put an aftermarket body on here. Same rear cross brace with body mounts in it. And that's pretty much it for the chassis. The battery trays are exactly the same as the other truck. You can mount a battery back here or in the side position, or you can put 2 batteries in, one for your main pack and one to power some of your accessories. All right, now we're looking at the transmission. It is the same SCX10 III transmission. It is set up with the dig. So what you do is you flip the button on your controller. It will move this servo position here, and it will lock up the rear axle, allowing you to have front dig and just be able to control your vehicle better over some rough obstacles. Pretty neat option. However, this is also actually equipped with a 2-speed, and I actually really like the 2-speed option in here. And what you could do is you could actually move this servo into the 2-speed position with a little bit of transmission work, and that's probably what I'm going to do after the test here today. But it does come set up with a dig, which you might want to try that feature. It is a pretty neat option. Now to the axles here, we have the AR45 straight axles in this. No more portals like the original Jeep had, the Ready to Run had. We now have the straight axles. We did a review on these axles. I'll put a link down in the description for that as well, and a card up above. But really like these axles. They've got the 6-bolt spool in there, metal ring and pinion gear, universals, ball bearings throughout like you would expect. We've got slider shafts up to the center, metal shafts on the inside of the rear, and 12mm hexes all the way around. Pretty pretty stout setup, works really well. While we're down here, we'll check out the links. These are links, the really heavy duty links that we've seen on the other Axial SCX10 III kits. Same with the front. We'll talk about the steering really quick. Same links up front, really heavy duty, metal servo horn on there. The only change, however, is a really, really good change. They now have a cast metal pan hard bar mount. And a lot of guys were breaking the stock plastic one on the other truck. If you took a hard tumble, it would snap off. And now we've got that nice cast metal piece in there. Definitely liking that. Check out the shocks too. Oil-filled coilover shocks, aluminum bodies on those. They work pretty well. Yellow springs throughout the truck here. And now we could talk about the electronics really quick. That's something that we've seen on the Ready to Run before. We've got the 40 amp 2-in-1 Spectrafirma ESC and receiver combo. I actually like this combo. A bunch of people harped on me for liking this combo, but it actually works really well. Even Scale Builders Guild did a little review on it and they seem to like it as well. So it does work. I actually went and put this in one of my other old SCX10 rigs just because it works well. It does have an IC connector on there, the IC3, so just be aware of that when you're buying batteries. And because it is the IC3, it is smart compatible. So if you're running smart batteries, you could actually see the battery voltage on the radio system. I'm going to show you guys the radio system in a minute. There is the shift servo, and then up front here, we've got the 614 Spectrum servo, kind of your standard torque servo with metal gears. And right next to it is a Dynamite 35 turn motor. It says an Axial motor on the box and in the on the website. However, when I pulled the cover off, it shows a Dynamite motor in there. And I'm guessing it's pretty much the same motor, just a different label, so not too big of a deal there. All right, I think that's really about it. I forgot to mention there's knockoffs on the wheels with the standard nuts underneath. Didn't want to mention that, but really nice looking rig. The SCX10 IIIs are a lot of fun to drive. I can't wait to run this thing. But first, let me just show you the rest of the stuff that comes in the kit. So it comes with the DX3 radio system. Again, this has some LED lights on the back that will allow you to see the battery level in here. It also gives you the thumb steering, which I absolutely love. Really cool that it came with that. Comes with your instruction manual, some extra decals if you want to make it look a little bit more custom than what it looks like in the box. AA batteries, a receiver box in case you need that. Body posts in case you want to go and put an aftermarket body on there. Your cross wrench, a 22 spline servo saver mount for the extra servo in case you want to add a 2-speed servo in there in addition to the dig servo, and a couple other parts to do that. And that's really about it. Some hardware's in there. Again, there is the box. This looks like an awesome truck. Let's head outside and have some fun with it. So we've got this classic Bronco here that kind of has an old school RC crawler vibe to it when you're out there driving. It was a blast. I thrashed on this review to get it done for you guys. This truck just arrived yesterday. I did all the studio work, then ran right out to a park about 4 o'clock at night and spent a few hours there, actually until it was dusk, getting a good feel for how this truck drives. Then woke up early this morning and went to another park to get some additional testing in, made a few tweaks to it. I just had a great time with this rig. Axial did a good job on it. So at the first park there, I drove this up the mountain and went around a corner and rolled it over in 20 seconds. It's got a different feel to it than what I was used to with the Jeeps. It's got a lot of roll to it, a lot of body roll to it. This cage has some weight to it. The tire has some weight to it. And so you gotta be aware of that when you're side hilling this thing. It'll roll right over. When you're going up some inclines, that tire out back will pull the front up off the ground. There's a little bit of torque twist to it as well. So with the combination of all of that, with the long suspension travel on this, it will twist on you and roll right over. So, be aware of your approaches, how much of an incline you're going to go up. Speaking of inclines and descents, the bumper angles on this are pretty good. I did catch it up a number of times on these bumpers, and they're kind of soft, so you just kind of mash on the throttle and it'll push its way through being caught up. But I like the suspension travel on here in one respect, because it's really cool to see that wheel drop out of the fender well and crawl over some wild terrain and stuff. But on the other hand, if you're really attacking some steep inclines, it may roll back on you. The truck could benefit probably from a little bit of weight up front, and I might as well get into the tweaks that I did. When I was running at the first park, I had a big 3S pack in there, so that added to the weight. I had the tire on the back, that added to the weight. This morning when I went out to the other trail, I just ran a shorty 2S pack in the side slot, took the tire off the back, and this was way more capable. I had a lot more fun crawling with it with just those few little tweaks to it. And like I said, maybe I would go ahead and add some weight to the front, maybe get some brass steering knuckles for it, and maybe even try the 90mm shocks on here. I'm just thinking ahead. I'm really excited about this truck. I want to do more with it, have more fun with it. But let me get back into some of the stock performance traits here. The speed controller, it does work well. I do like it. It is pretty smooth. It could use a little bit more drag brake in my opinion, but as far as being a smooth speed controller, it is good, guys. It's a decent little speed controller. Motor had plenty of power, especially when I was on 3S. It had some rip to it. I want to swap that dig servo out, put it in the 2-speed slot, and have a blast with it. I think it's just going to be a little rocket, and if I ever take this thing to the beach, it'll be fun to rip around with it like that. The steering on here, again, it's got the standard torque servo that they give you in all the ready to runs, and for general driving, it is just fine. You know, we all know about ready to run servos. You're eventually going to grow out of it. You're going to get an upgrade servo at some point, but it's fair for now. Radio's pretty cool. I like the steering lever on there. I like the fact that when you use a Spectrum Smart battery in there, you could see the voltage on the screen. The tires on here, the tires do grab pretty well. Again, maybe with a little bit more weight, they'd work even better, but kind of the challenge of driving a crawler is just taking it out, having fun as is, you know, and improving your driving skill with what you got. And I did enjoy the tires. And then the dig function does work pretty well. I found it to be a little inconsistent. Going downhill for some reason, it wouldn't want to engage. Going uphill worked just fine, but I didn't use it much. Again, I kind of want to swap out that servo and put it in the 2-speed slot. Overall, cool truck. The only big bummer here, guys, is it still has the click. The click is still there, so it didn't seem as bad as some of my other SCX10 III rigs, but I could still hear it clicking out there. Other than that, make sure that you maybe pop out your headlight lenses, put a little bit of model glue in there to hold them in, because mine popped out a number of times. But overall, this is a fun rig from Axial. They're really cool looking, really enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think about this rig in the comment section below. You just gotta swap out bodies with your current SCX10 III rig, or you gotta get one of these. It would be cool to know. While you're down there, please hit that subscribe button and the notifications bell. If you are an online shopper, I'll have some links in the video description. If not, hit up your local hobby shop. This has been fun, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you back soon for some more RC driver videos.